hate that part.
There you go.
Good evening. I'd like to call this Thursday, August 26, 2021 meeting of the Plaistow ZBA to order at 6:30 PM. I'd like to thank all that's here with us this evening or joining us online or on TV, and let's get started. Dee, would you please call the roll?
Peter Bilo is excused. Dan Lloyd is excused. John Blinn.
Here.
Jonathan Gifford is excused. Gary Ingham.
Here.
Jim Unger.
Here.
Barbara Burry.
Here.
Thank you. Would you lead us in the pledge, please?
Yes.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay. Has everybody had a chance to read the the minutes of our last meeting?
Mr. Ingham, could I ask you to appoint Mr. Unger and Ms. Burry as voting members for this evening,
You're
please?
right, I missed it. At this time, we'd like to appoint Jim Unger and Barbara Berry as voting members for tonight's meeting.
Thank you.
Okay, there. Now, have we all had a chance to read the minutes from our last meeting?
Yes.
Any questions or corrections?
Need a motion first, please? Before you discuss, you need a motion.
Could we have a motion to approve those minutes, please?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Again, any questions or corrections?
No, looked good to me.
Are you good?
Yep.
Okay. Dee, would you call the roll?
Gary Ingham.
Yes.
John Blinn.
I abstain.
Jim Unger.
Yes.
Barbara Burry.
Yes.
Your vote is 3-0-1. The motion passes.
Okay. At this time, I have to read a couple of announcements, so please bear with me. The first is meeting procedure. Each public hearing will be opened in turn. The applicant will present their case, the board will question, and then the hearing will be open to the public for comment. Once everyone who wishes to be heard has been heard, that public hearing will be closed. Once a public hearing has been closed, there cannot be any additional input allowed. The board will immediately deliberate on that application before opening another public hearing on any additional applications. There could be times where the applications that are so interrelated that the chair may decide to hear them simultaneously, but each will be deliberated separately. All motions regarding relief will be made in the affirmative to grant form for clarity and consistency. The format of the motion should not be considered indicative of how any member, including the maker of the motion or the second to the motion, might vote. Written notices of decision will be sent to the applicant and made available for public viewing within 5 business days. Per New Hampshire RSAs, if any party of standing feels that the board has erred in their decision, they have 30 days to request for a rehearing. No permits will be issued within this 30-day period. The board reserves the right to continue their deliberations on any matter if they feel they need to consult with legal counsel. All decisions will be made in accordance with New Hampshire RSAs. This next section I'm going to read does pertain to tonight, as we only have 4 board members in attendance. Less than 5-member board. The New Hampshire RSAs require that any motion for relief can only be granted by a favorable vote of at least 3 members of the board, as opposed to a simple majority of the members present at any meeting. Therefore, when there is less than a full board of 5 voting members present, the applicant's chances of approval could be considered diminished. When there are less than 5 voting members present, the applicant has the right to continue their application to the next available meeting in hopes that there will be 5 voting members available to hear their application. If any applicant decides to proceed with less than 5-member board, they do so at their own peril and an applicant moves forward and does not prevail in their request for relief, the lack of a 5-member board will not be considered as grounds for a rehearing. And like I said, tonight we only have 4, so anything we vote on needs to be approved by at least 3 of the 4 people. Okay. Dee, would you call the first case, please?
Did you want to ask if anybody wanted to continue at this time?
Oh, I thought that was when they came up. Would anybody care to continue at this time? Yes, you would, or no, you wouldn't?
You want to continue to the next meeting or continue this evening?
Oh, this evening.
Okay.
Same with you?
Thank
Okay.
you very much.
Case number 21-15, a request from, and I apologize, I'm probably going to mess up the name, Rusilio Ferreira, for a special exception under Article 10 to permit a home occupation, namely an office for a construction management business. The property is located at 4 Rustic Lane, Tax Map 52, Lot 66, in the MDR zoning district. The property owners of records are Rusilio and Patricia Ferreira. I ask you to come on up to the table up here. Do you have a copy of your application with you?
Hey, yeah, doing good.
No. Here's a copy of your full application in case you need to refer to it while you're talking to them. Okay? I'm always prepared. We'll ask you to state your name, have a seat. State your name and address for the record, please. You need to speak into that microphone.
It's Rusilio Ferreira. In the case, you say?
Nope, just,
Yes.
and your address.
4 Rustic Lane.
Thank
in
you.
Plaistow, yeah. And I'm gonna say, I'm sorry about my English because I'm Brazilian, so I'm trying to do my best, okay?
Okay. And we'll try our best to work through this too, because I have never done this before, so
Thank
bear
you.
with me also. Okay, you're asking for a request for a home business, for a construction office within your home.
To be honest with you, like the state, it's only let me do the like construction when I do my application for New Hampshire to open my business in New Hampshire. But like I don't do construction. I do like a granite countertop. But like when I put the granite countertop, he don't let me open my business in New Hampshire. Like only like business countertop, like a granite countertop. He only say like a construction. But like I don't do construction. I do granite countertop.
Countertop installation.
Yeah, you know.
Okay.
But like my shop is in Peabody, so I got the house here like 2.5 years ago. So the only reason I'm trying to open my office at home because my wife stay home with my kids, so she don't have to drive all the way back to Peabody every day. So sometimes my kids have to stay home by herself. So that's why I'm trying to open like a little office for her so she can answer the phone. So that's my plan, but I'm not gonna put any sign on the house. And the other reason too is I'm trying to transfer all my insurance for my cars from Mass to New Hampshire because my license is from New Hampshire. So I get a little trouble to open insurance in Mass because my license is in New Hampshire license.
Okay.
So that's all.
I have to ask you several questions. And if, because of my accent and the way I talk, you don't understand, please let me know.
Okay.
Okay? Will your business use be secondary to the residential use?
Uh-huh.
Okay? And it's going to be listed as a tradesman, repairman, contractor type of business? Mm-hmm. Okay. Is the business use injurious, noxious, or offensive to the neighborhood by reason of emission of odor, fumes, dust, smoke, vibration, or noise? Okay. Is this a 1 or a 2-family house?
Family house, yeah.
Okay. Are you the owner of that house? Per New Hampshire RSA, I don't know if it's an RSA, but here in town, you cannot use more than 25% of your normal living residence, and according to your plan you submitted, you're only going to use 7%.
It's just like a room, like small, yeah, office.
I think, will a business use change the residential character of the dwelling or property? Yeah, like would people see it from the street and know that there was a business there? Okay. Will you have a sign?
No,
Just so you know, at any time, if you decide to put up a sign, it cannot be any more than 3 square feet in size, and it cannot be illuminated in any way,
okay.
if you ever decide to do that.
I'm sorry, about a truck, you know, like sometime I go to work with my truck and I have to come back with my truck, so I have to park on my house, you know? There's no way for me, what I'm gonna park, you know?
Will there be more than one person who doesn't live in the house employed on the premises? Does the applicant intend to display merchandise outside? Do you have sufficient off-street parking for yourself and any employees or customers?
No.
No or yes?
No, just for me and my family,
Okay.
that's it, no,
All right.
nobody else.
Do you expect to get any deliveries at your house? Business deliveries?
No,
Okay. How many vehicles do you have that are marked vehicles for this business?
like right now, I just have, for my business, I have 2, but like I have like 4 cars, but I don't have no sign for now because
So your trucks aren't marked?
just two trucks.
Okay. According to Plaistow zoning regulations 220-13, you can only, the trucks can't be over 1 ton in capacity. And if you do have 2 that have your business markings on them, one of them needs to be screened from your neighbors. If you park it, you know, if you have a garage, you put it in the garage, or if you have to put some bushes or something so your neighbors, you can only have 1 truck visible in your driveway to your neighbors.
All right.
Will you have any flammable, noxious, or dangerous materials stored in your trucks?
No.
Are there any covenants in the deed that would prevent a home occupation? The deed for your house would have to say you can't do that. I think you,
There's nothing in the deed.
yeah, there's a copy of the deed in here, and I didn't see anything. This isn't a condominium.
No,
Are there any other home occupations in your house?
No.
Run out of your house? Yes, you've formed that. Okay. And I just need to read this verbatim. The code enforcement officer may choose to inspect the business location prior to the issuance of your home occupancy certificate. The home occupation is subject to periodic inspections by the code enforcement officer. If in the opinion of the code enforcement officer, the business practices have changed, the home occupation permit may be revoked. If the ZBA feels it is warranted, the application may be required to file with the planning board for site plan approval. All home occupations may be renewed every 3 years, provided there are no violations of the provisions of Article 10. The applicant will not be notified for renewal. It is your responsibility to track the expiration date and apply for renewal prior to that date. Do you understand those? Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Put that over here. Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Ferrera?
Seems pretty straightforward.
Okay, is there anybody here speaking in opposition to his business request? Anybody here speaking for his business request?
I did not receive any emails or letters in the mail.
Thank you very much. So at this point, we're going to close the public part here of this hearing, and we will go to our deliberations. You can't ask any more questions. Excuse me. And you can choose to wait, because we will be voting, or you can leave and you will be contacted later on with the results. It's up to you. So we are now closed for public hearing, and,
Did you have one more question before they close it?
no, just one.
okay,
How long it take, like,
to get an answer? You'll know
Because my
tonight.
wife told me like it takes 30 days after, from today.
It's 30 days after we vote, depending on which way we vote. And if we vote to grant it, it's 30 days after we vote,
Okay,
because that gives people time if they come up with a reason
so
not to.
that's why I'm asking, because if you have any complaint on that time, it's because I'm doing some construction right now.
If your
so,
construction is all
like,
legal,
it's-
there's nothing to worry
It's
about.
not, it's not on my business, different business, like go to do like landscape, all that kind of stuff, so
No,
they should let you know.
That's a whole
You're allowed to
different-
work on your house.
Yep.
So if you just want to wait, we'll discuss it briefly, and then we'll take a vote, and you'll know one way or another.
Okay,
Okay.
We're just going to have you sit back over here again.
thank you.
Get it for you.
Before we open up, could I have somebody read the motion and get it seconded, please?
I'll read it. I move to grant the request from Rosilio Ferreira for a home occupation under Article 10, all sections to allow an office for a construction management business at 4 Rustic Lane, tax map 52, lot 66.
I second the motion.
Thank you very much. All right. If anybody has anything to say, go ahead. I don't see anything,
Seems about as straightforward as
yeah,
it
pretty
gets.
straightforward.
Yeah. I've been by the house, it's well-kept, and it doesn't look like there'd be any problems.
I mean, he's well within the 25% at 7%.
Yeah.
So, only really going to be his wife there, so I don't see any issues. If there's nothing else, let's vote. Dee, would you give the roll, please?
John Flynn,
Yes.
Jim Unger,
Yes,
Barbara Burry,
Yes.
Gary Ingham.
Yes.
You're all set.
Yep. Like I said,
Vote
like you
is
know, you've got 30
4-0-0.
days to wait, but other than that, you're good to go.
I'll send you, what will happen now is I'll send you a notice of decision in the mail. I'll also send a copy of that over to the Department of Building Safety. In 30 days, give them a call just to remind them, and they'll give you your certificate of occupancy. You're welcome.
All right. Dee, if you could call, let's see.
The next two are kind of interrelated. Would you like me to call them together?
Yes, I mean, it's pretty much the same for both of them,
Yeah.
so.
Case number 21-16, a request from Patrick Gamble for a variance from Article 5, Table 22032I, to permit a shed to be located within 3 feet of the side property setback where 15 feet is the minimum required. The property is located at 2 Ingalls Terrace, tax map 42, lot 41, in the MDR zoning district. The property owners of record are Patrick T. and Elise D. Gamble. Case number 21-17, a request from Patrick Gamble for a variance from Article 5, Table 22032I, to permit a shed to be located within 1 foot of the rear property setback where 15 feet is the minimum required. The property is located at 2 Ingalls Terrace, tax map 42, lot 41, in the MDR zoning district. The property owners of record are Patrick T. and Elise D. Gamble. Come on up. We'll have you state your name and address for the record. Do you have a copy of your application?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Thank you. My name's Patrick Gamble. I'm a resident at 2 Ingalls Terrace, Plaistow, New Hampshire.
Good evening, sir. We're gonna, although we will vote on them separately, we're gonna do these both together because they're pretty much the same thing.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
it is what it is. Could you just explain what it is you'd like to do?
Yeah, so I would like to construct a 10 by 10 outdoor storage shed. Right now, that property doesn't have any outdoor storage capability, so I just want to obviously protect my outdoor equipment, lock it up safely, and protect it from the elements.
Okay. Just so, I thought I read in here somewhere it's one of those, the plastic, like pre-made sheds?
It's not. I changed my product that I was purchasing. It's going to be a wooden shed.
It will be a wooden
Yep.
shed, okay.
Yep.
Now, looking at the map up here,
Yep.
what is on either side of your boundary lines up there? Is it treed in?
They're fences, actually.
So it's going to be
Yep.
into a fenced-in, okay, a fenced-in area.
If you're going to share that with the board, you got to give it to me afterwards.
Okay, sure.
So it really wouldn't be visible from the neighbors.
No,
Maybe
and
the
I,
top of it, but,
correct, and I've spoken with the primary abutters. they're both completely fine with it verbally. And from the, we live off a main road, 121A, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. You'll see it, but we're going to paint it so it looks nice.
Okay, could I ask you on your application if you could read through the 5 criteria?
Yeah. So would you like me to state the question as well?
Yes, please.
Sure. Okay, so number 1, the proposed variance will not carry contrary to the public interest because the shed it allows for a shed location that is uniform with property line. And as I said a few minutes ago, we've also spoken with the primary abutters. Number 2, the spirit and intent of the ordinance is preserved because it provides adequate areas between buildings, preserves rural charm for our property, and is uniform with the property lines. Number 3, there is substantial justice in granting the variance because it allows the homeowners, my wife and I, to expand property footprint at a time when family size is expanding. Therefore, this increases property function. Number 4, the values of the surrounding properties will not be diminished because there's adequate areas between all buildings and the shed is an aesthetically pleasing structure, or will be. Number 5, literal enforcement of the provisions of the ordinance would result in an unnecessary hardship because we have a smaller parcel of land. So the shed would be in the middle of our property if we followed the setbacks otherwise, and obviously it wouldn't help with the functionality. So, and as I said before, it just helps protect our outdoor equipment from the elements that are coming in a few months. So.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody have any questions?
Is there a reason, there's a reason, what do you have, a septic there that you want to keep it over in that corner?
Right, so it's in that corner because, and you're right, our septic is along the 121A side.
Yeah.
So it just, I don't want to have it impede that territory. So that back corner is just the most out of the way, and none of our neighbors are really going to see it, so.
Yeah, it seems like that's more private over there versus being right on Main Street.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I'd rather have the shed be tucked away and away from the main traffic, so.
Well, this is another issue of the Plaistow small lots, too. Barbara, did you have anything?
I don't, no.
Well, seeing there's nobody in the audience, did you have anything that was sent to you, Dee?
I do not.
Okay, well, we have nobody talking against it, nobody talking for it, and nothing coming in. So at this point, I will close this hearing.
Could I just ask one question of Mr. Gamble first? Your answers to the second variance would be the same as the ones to the first?
Correct.
I just want to double check that before they close the public hearing.
Perfect.
So at this time, we'll close the public hearing on both of those requests, seeing as they're pretty much the same. And we'll get back to you in a little bit. Thank
Sure,
you.
thank you.
I've got nothing. I mean,
Yeah.
looking
Could I
at the
ask for a
picture-
motion?
Could we have the motion read, please? I'm
Thank you.
sorry.
Can we motion both at once?
You have to vote on them separately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to motion dash 16. I move to grant the request for variance from Article 5, Table 220-32, letter I, a shed to be placed no closer than 3 feet to the side property line at 2 Ingalls Terrace, tax map 42, lot 41. The property owner shall provide the Department of Building Safety with certification by a surveyor as the final location of the shed. That's it.
Second.
I second the motion.
All right. Yeah, just looking at that lot, that is the best place for it, in my opinion.
Yeah, because otherwise, the
It would
the
be-
pictography, you can see where Main Street is.
Right.
Yeah.
To put it
I
out
could
here,
put the
you'd be,
pictometry picture up if you'd like to have it up
Yeah.
on the screen.
Yes, please.
Sure.
put it on the other side of the lot, you'd be right, exposed right to Main Street.
Either to Main
really.
Street or putting it down front, puts it right there on Ingalls Terrace.
Yep.
And I think the pictometry will show when it comes up that there really isn't a lot of space back there.
No.
Thank you, Dee. Yeah, there's really no other place to put it on that lot. I mean, there's other places to put it, but it would be very
It would just,
obtrusive,
yeah,
is a good word?
yeah, it would be.
Yeah, so I think where it's going would be the best place. And the neighbors don't mind, so.
And it's fenced off.
Looks like it's fenced
Yeah.
off by the shadow you can see there.
So, no other discussion?
You need to step through the the variance criteria, please.
Okay.
That's in your red book on page 13 with the green clip.
Okay. Well, we have the variance will not, number one, not contrary to public interest, and I think that's already been established by the neighbors saying, you know, it's okay by them. If there was an issue, we would hear from them. The spirit of the ordinance is observed. I think it is in this only because, again, you have a smaller lot. There's no place other than in that corner that you could really put that lot without it sticking out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
Substantial justice is done by following this? Yes, I think it is. Again, because there's no place else to put it. You know, if you deny it, whatever equipment he has is gonna be left outside to be ruined or for his children to get hurt on.
Or to be an eyesore.
And I
Yeah.
saw,
Yeah.
right.
And, let's see, literal enforcement of this ordinance would result in an unnecessary hardship, again, along those same lines, yes, it would. It would be a hardship to the family, maybe not to the town, but to the family themselves. The proposed use is a reasonable one.
I think you skipped one, values of surrounding properties.
Well, the values of the surrounding properties will not be diminished. If anything, my opinion is they'd be increased because you're not having whatever equipment he has laying around the yard. So,
Yeah, it'll make it neat and clean.
yeah, neat and clean, exactly. Neat, clean, and safe. And we already touched on the last one. So, any other comments?
Nope.
Well, let's vote on this first one, if Dee would call the roll.
Jim Unger,
Yes?
Barbara Burry,
Yes.
Gary Ingham,
Yes.
John Blinn.
Yes.
Your vote is 4-0-0, and the motion passes.
Okay, and do I need to reread the 5 for the second one?
Not if you want to, well, first you need a motion.
You need a motion.
Oh, can I have a motion for the second ordinance?
Draft motion 2117, I move to grant the request for a variance from Article 5, Table 220, 32, letter I, a shed to be placed no closer than 1 foot to the rear property line at 2 Ingles Terrace, tax map 42, lot 41. The property owner shall provide the Department of Building Safety with certification by a licensed land surveyor as of the final location of the shed.
Seconded?
I second the motion?
Okay. Well, we've already.
Now, to answer your question, if the board by consensus says that they feel the answers to this one would be the same as the first one, and I can enter that into the record that way, you don't have to go through them again.
Does the board agree?
I agree.
Yes.
Yep, we agree.
All right, well, if you could call the roll for the second, please.
Barbara Burry,
Yes.
Gary Ingham,
Yes.
John Blinn,
Yes.
Jim Unger.
Yes.
Your vote is 4-0-0, and the motion passes.
Thank you.
We'll
And
send you a notice of decision. I will forward that to the building inspector's office. Again, check with them in 30 days to get your permit released. Okay?
Does construction have to wait?
Yes, you can't do construction until you have a permit.
Okay, perfect. All right.
Okay?
Thank you.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Good luck. Dee, do we have any other business tonight?
I have nothing, sir.
Oh, great. And on that note, I will adjourn this meeting at 6:59 PM. Thank you.